Morning everyone, we are in the cabin at Lac Solace. This is Ross. He's the general massive help over the last few weeks of all of what's going on with the virus, and Ross has been doing with Helen a load of work around the lake, some fishing when he gets the chance. Not just to keep us busy, but obviously to give you guys something to watch. One of our regulars decided that we should start doing challenges. Not just me, but Ross as well included. And we did have a challenge which we'll come back to in a month's time, which we won't tell you what it was, but we was going to involve both lakes. Coron is spawning at the moment, or they look like they were ready yesterday, so we've left them to it. And the challenge master has given us a new challenge. So the challenge is to catch 2 25-pound carp in 24 hours, starting at midday, if we're ready. If not, we'll start at 12:30. Ross and I have got to catch 1 common over 25 and 1 mirror. So
I think the common's going to be the challenge.
Yeah, so there are only a handful of commons in the lake. In reality, it's only 2 bites. There's hardly anything below 25 pound in the lake apart from the little wildies, which we don't pick up very often. But there's probably 5 or 6 commons, and the smallest is probably 30 pound. So if we catch one and it isn't a wildie, then we've done it. But we've got to get 2 bites as a start. I actually blanked last week, so we've got to get 2 bites, and then we've got to hope that one of them's a common. Right, so I've got the challenge master on the FaceTime. You won't be able to see him, but he is there, and he's insisted that he starts this. I think we're going Geordie Michael Buffer style for the start. Right, so can we start fishing yet?
The anglers are on the lake and they are ready. The carp are heading in the snags and they are ready. For the 37 people watching on YouTube, they are ready. Big Dog and Ross, begin the challenge.
Thank you, challenge master. We will not tell you how we've got on until you see the video.
Okay. Good lad. Good luck, lads.
Cheers. Off the mark. 24 hours I blanked for last week. We've been fishing just over 2 hours on my left-hander, which is pretty tight to the margin, not inches off the margin, probably 1.5 meters off the edge. I put 2 tins of corn over it, a couple of handfuls of pH barrels, and just a straight pH bottom bait on the rig, just a simple blowback, and we've got a really nice mirror in the net. Yeah, great start. I thought I'd introduce it before I got him out. So I'm going to whack him out in the retainer. Ross has already wetted all the mat off. I'll get the scales and that ready before he comes out. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're over 25 pounds. So this is half the challenge, and we've now got to get hold of a 25 pound common. Let's get him out, hoist him up, and we can get him back in. Oh mate, that's a big fish. Check him out, proper scrap, nearly wiped out all the other rods, and he's loads bigger than we thought he was. Really thick set fish. Look at the peduncle on its tail, super thick wrist, proper fighting fit, and he's actually quite hard to hold. So yeah, give him a quick weigh up for the benefit of the challenge. I think we can safely say that's the 25 plus mirror tipped off. Really heavy. How big?
I'm going 47.5.
Got to do this now, eh? Slow-mo, Russ. the first morning, or our only morning, and we've got till 1 o'clock to complete the challenge. We were hoping for some activity in the night. To be honest, as soon as that sun went down yesterday, we virtually saw nothing. A few little patches in the night, little splashes here and there, but nothing to go on. And then this morning there was a bit of activity as the sun come up. In fact, I've just put my right hand rod only 10 yards off the bank where a big grey mirror rolled. But apart from that, it's been very quiet, especially in the hunt for a common. There's not a huge amount in here, as we've already said, so we're going to persevere, and hopefully as it warms up and that sun that's coming up over my left hand shoulder hits the water properly, we'll start to see a bit more activity like we did yesterday. So before I redo this rod, which is the left hand rod that did me the big 40 yesterday, I thought I'd do the little riggy bit for those that are interested. So starting with the leader, as per usual, I've got 2/3 of a metre there of Solace leadless material. Not the easiest one to splice, but from my sort of playing around with different ones, that's definitely the heaviest and the most dense. Great for not just sort of pinning everything down, but also the snag properties. You know, you've got a really tough bit there, and it's good for the fish's flank. It's not going to cut like a bare line. So coming down, you've got a simple helicopter system, 2 beads, which are they're not on tubing or anything, they're just on the thicker part of the splice there, but very easily they'll move up if I was to have a snap off or a snag fish. Another bead below the swivel, and then you've got the Thinking Angler's C-clip underneath that, and a little light lead. I think it's a 1.5 or 2 ounce flat pair. Over here they seem quite, because they're not fished for very often, they're very aware of casting. So get away with a lighter lead in comparison to Coron, where I found a heavier lead to be better. And then because I'm fishing on quite a steep shelf, I've got a flat pair there to hold it in place. Rig wise, a simple combi rig, or an old fashioned combi rig now, I guess, with all the use of coated materials. So you've got a size 11 ring swivel, the hook link is looped on, figure of 8 loop there. That's looped on. I don't use quick change swivels and stuff like that. Main reason is, one, it's less knots, less bits and bobs for me to worry about things coming off, and 2, you get that extra doubled up section which gives you a bit more of a kick out, a bit more of a boom section. A bit of putty over that, over the swivel knot there, the loop, to help it sort of push away quicker. You've got 20-pound fluoro there, and then underneath that bit of putty is the Albright knot, and that's Albrighted to, or connected to, an inch and a half of bareback braid. So you've got the supple section there, and your boom section there. Hook wise, you've got a size 4 sabre there, atomic sabre. It's basically a chodder with an in-turned eye, so when for those of you that know the chodder, you'll know how effective and how long-lasting the effectiveness of that hook is. Super sharp and very strong, and most importantly stays that way. It's not super sharp out the pack and then blunted the minute you've cast it into the lake. Got a little bit of a kicker on there, shrink tube kicker, just to protect the knot, and then I've got a small or a medium ring there, and it's just fish blowback style, and the ring is as far around the shank as it can go before it goes too far and comes off, or comes round towards the barb. And what that means is, because I'm using a bottom bait, this is a medium, one of our medium pH barrels there, straight out the bag, bottom bait. I want the weight coming down onto the barb side of the hook, rather than a more buoyant bait, which you would probably have closer to the shank and further up the shank. So really simple rig, nothing new whatsoever. Did me obviously that cracker yesterday, and I'm going to redo it now, put a fresh bait on, and get it back out there, and hope that that common slips up, and this is the one that does the job. Cool. Michael. Yeah. out in a minute. It's on its way, mate. It's well on its way down there. Oh, please stay on. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm in weeds down here, mate. There's weeds round the corner. Oh my God, we're sick. Where's it going? Mate, it's going on the fucking back. It was a carp. I didn't. When I turned around to you, I looked. Oh my God!
Oh, gosh.
Fucking shaking.
I don't even know what to say.
Why am I shaking? As sharp as you like. Right then, I'm going to do this outro bit on my own. We're about 20 minutes from the final whistle on this little challenge, and I've put my toys back in my pram after letting the team down on that hook pull an hour or so ago. I'm doing this bit on my own because my intrepid wingman here I saw having a wander around, as we've both been doing regularly, but on this occasion I saw him come back to his bivvy, grab a float rod, or what looked like a float rod, and he's disappeared. So you never know, the camera might come out again. There's still a fair bit of activity out there, but you know, we've had two takes in 24 hours, which is what I would hope for, but I've lost one of them. So yeah, it is what it is. We've had a great time. Takeaway last night and a chat and a social. We've enjoyed the concept of a challenge. Not something I'd want to do weekly, but from a fishing point of view, it's made me work and think about me fishing and in a different way. So it's all good. I've enjoyed it. We got, as I say, 15-20 minutes, half hour left. I'm all but packed up. It's a bit of carnage around here. I'm going to get everything in a heap. One's just crashed down to the margin where we're not fishing. Can't fish everywhere with 6 rods, unfortunately. I'm going to get everything in a heap, and then as the final whistle goes, I'll reel in, bring the van round, pack up, and go home, see the missus, see the dogs, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the film. Unfortunately we couldn't complete the challenge, but hope you got an idea for Solace, as if anything, and realise how much of a gorgeous place it is, and obviously saw one of the good ones as well. So yeah, rods are going to stay until the very last minute, and we'll see how we go. So when I see this on other people's videos, the cameraman's gone home and then this happened, I always, you know, little wry smile, because well, as you can see behind me, it does happen. I am, apart from that one rod, totally packed away. We've got, I think even now we've got about 6 minutes left of this challenge. Ross was sitting by me rods because he's been float fishing for the last hour, and we were just talking about, there's a fair bit of activity out there, and I'd gone up to take all the unhooking mats and everything up to the hanging points, and left the net here because I'm not a total idiot, and so I'm 200 yards from my rods. Ross is next to him. We're attacking this challenge as a team. So as my remote there went absolutely potty, I shouted to Ross, "You hit it." So I wasn't going to take the rod back off him. He is still playing one that's really kicking him up. Hooked it from what I call the bar out in the middle, which is where I lost the fish from earlier. Changed the rig, put it back out, put another 40 baits marine over the top, and 40 minutes, half an hour later, if that, it's gone. Absolutely screamed off, and it's definitely no little common. So let's see how he gets on. So Ross, what's occurring?
Well, after saying that it's time to wind in because there's no chance of a bite because I've seen far too many round up on the top over there, we started packing down. Lo and behold, your rod steamed off.
Moving my body right, moving my body, moving my body right, moving my body.
Probably doesn't do him justice to his weight, to be honest. He's knocking on £30, isn't he? Really wide.